Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Heard You Sis podcast. I am Dany.
I'm Kiz.
And we have a guest.
I am Ebony. Hi guys, how y'all doing?
We have a lovely guest, Ebony. And we're gonna just be talking about some fun things today. We're gonna keep it short and sweet. But how was your week?
Long. Oh, that's a loaded question. Very long. But I made it through. I'm here. It ended well. So
That's
I give
great.
it a thumbs up. I give it a
That's
thumbs
great.
up.
What about you, Kayla?
My week was good. I had a good week. Real positive. Got a lot of sleep. You know what I'm saying? I made small goals for myself. And I feel like I accomplished them. Because, you know, it's kind of hard to, like, do things that are for yourself.
Yes.
When you get off of work. So I think, you know, I made everything.
That's great. My week was thank you. My week was actually pretty good. Like I was actually just happy that my manager was able to go on vacation without anybody calling her. That is very rare to see, like, you know, and she's a workaholic, so she will be working and she still ended up calling on her vacation. Like, don't fucking pick up this phone and call us. Go and enjoy your vacation, and whenever you
So you can relate?
when you come back from vacation, pick up all the fires, put out all the fires. But when you're on vacation, let them shits burn, let the house burn down.
That's a fact. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at night. I'll toss and turn.
She's just like that. She's just like that.
Text me. I may be upset, but call me and text me because I don't want to come back to fires.
For real?
I don't want to come back.
She's like that. She don't want to come back.
You know, because when I come back to my job after vacation, I just be like, they be like, oh, what happened to that? I be like, I wasn't here.
I wasn't here. I don't know.
The fuck? Like, that don't got nothing to do with me.
I tell them all the time.
And I hate when they send
I
me
like
emails like,
surprises.
they be like, Akila, please advise that. I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna advise on Thursday when I get back. You sending this shit on Tuesday. You might as well help this motherfucker. Like,
Hell yeah. I can't
and I
lie.
don't even give a fuck to help him. Like, they got this new app at my job where, like, you get the phone calls or whatever. So they kept telling me to set it up. I'm like, yeah, like, why the fuck would I set this shit up? The fuck? I'm here. Like, but then I thought, like, you know, when I do actually go back to working, like, I work from home, it's like I may need this app. So I set it up because of that. But and it's like, oh yeah, like, it's, and they showing me like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
They got an app.
I figure that shit out on the day I ain't here. Like,
That's funny because they got an app in my job or whatever, and they be like, use it. I'm like, y'all not gonna be able to get in contact with me anyway, so I'm not getting that app.
you
like,
already get 8 hours in my day.
Listen,
You're not getting 9, 10, 11, and 12.
exactly.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It is definitely.
Listen, if I'm on vacation and you call me, you have reached.
Yeah.
you're not getting me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be drunk picking up the phone like, what happened? No. See you on Friday.
Yeah, facts. But anyway, we're going to talk about some social issues.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We haven't done this in a while.
Okay. All right. So first question I really wanted to pop off was, you know, do you feel like it's a difference between Black Americans and Caribbean Americans?
Who you want to talk about? Who you want to answer this first? I'm going to let Ebony answer first.
Okay.
Yes, I do. A big difference.
What's
Make
the
sure you're
difference?
talking into the mic.
Oh, yes, a big difference. So my mom is from Charleston, South Carolina, so she's Black American. And my dad is from St. Vincent and Grenadines, so he's Caribbean. And he's here in America. He's been here since he was like 13. But you would never think that. You would think he just came here yesterday. The way his accent is so thick. He was just running up the block the other day, and I'm like, you could tell my dad is Caribbean.
Got the barbecue slippers.
He had the plaid shirt on with the shorts. Yes.
And
them sandals we was talking
and
about.
the cookout slippers. Yeah.
Them
Yes.
He be
But,
wearing his toes out.
Some he got one with the cover ones, but it got
The
little
thong.
holes in it.
Yeah.
And he got he has those as well. He has a few of them.
Listen, that's the
Caribbean
cookouts.
men love wearing they toes out.
Oh my God, they love them little toes.
I ain't gonna lie. A lot of their toes be looking nice.
Yeah, my dad-
Decent.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Even the crusty toes be out too, though. They don't give a
They do,
shit.
but I'm just saying, if I had to see 10 Caribbean men with their feet out, at
Most of
least
them
5
are-
of them niggas got some nice feet.
I could die.
Yeah, facts.
You know what? I'm not gonna go on this tangent. 'Cause I feel
go
like
ahead.
it.
But no, the difference I see is like just growing up. I grew up with my American side, but I always embraced the Caribbean side. But I seen the difference in raising me. My dad was big on education. My American side was big on it too, but it was more of them working, trying to survive, pay bills, stay out of trouble, don't get pregnant, things like that. The Caribbean side was more get your education, don't be a follower, health, and so forth. So I think the raising part is different. The morals is different. I mean, it kind of aligns, but my Caribbean side was more focused on education and just being successful to because they always said that when you're educated, nobody could do nothing to you or take it from you. So it's a big difference. It's a big difference. I feel like the American side was more lenient. Compared to the my dad's Caribbean side.
Okay,
that's funny because that is that's a kind of like, well, you're way more Americanized than
because my mom is Trinidadian, like came here when she was 12 type Trinidadian, and
age.
You know, and that's a young age. It's like what, 6th grade or something.
Yeah,
that's like the main age. Like I feel like everyone comes here 13 years old. Like
yeah, I don't know what's about.
Honestly,
what that's about.
The dynamic in my family is a little bit different, but I'm let you finish.
And then my dad is American. I'm talking about, I still got uncles that are alive that could say like, yo, I was a sharecropper. You know what I'm saying? Or like my dad, we was having a conversation. He's talking about like, you know, certain places he had to go through the back. That's why I don't, excuse me, white people, that shit did not just happen 1,000 years ago.
That was
my dad is still alive kicking and like.
That was less than 60 years ago.
Yeah, like let's stop playing here, whatever.
Come on.
So I have like my American side, and then my mom has been here so long, she's kind of like Americanized herself. So I can't really, I'm speaking from a Americanized aspect, but I also grew up in Flatbush, so it's like that's a little Caribbean right there.
Yes.
Of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Brooklyn, period.
So I would say I think I do agree with what you were saying, Eb. Like I think that they're definitely more strict when it comes to certain things, how you talk to people, what you do, your manners, you feel me? Like American friends, you feel me? I done been to American friends' house, we just piling up in a room, just going straight to the back or whatever. But my crib, I remember my homegirl had came in and didn't say hello, and my mother was like, oh hell no. Bring her back? What's going on here? Or like she had texted me like, don't bring her back here if she can't say hi. Like,
but before you even say anything too, so there's the Black Americans from the North and from the South. My mom's from the South. You could not walk in her house and not
That's
speak.
different.
What? Walk in who house and not speak?
okay.
So we gonna get into that. So my dynamic is kind of the same as Ev. It is my mom is Jamaican and my dad is from South Carolina. He did not grow up in South Carolina. I believe he grew up in Connecticut and then migrated to New York.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom is like but we're a different type of Jamaican. Like a lot of people be like Jamaicans is like rah 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 rah, but my family is.
You feel like you bougie Jamaican?
I feel like we like bougie Jamaicans because they don't like certain things. Like I've never seen any of my aunts like crazy colored hair, any of that, any of that stereotypical.
Okay, because I do feel like it's a part of the culture.
It's a part of the culture.
Yeah.
That is our culture. Like
bougie. I wouldn't call it bougie. I just say classy. Like there's different levels of also being in your culture too, because there's phases. So some people could have the colorful.
I say bougie because I'm pretty sure her family like, oh no, we would never. That's bougie. That's bougie. You know what I'm saying? Classy is like, okay, like, you know, I just do this and you do that. But like when the bougie comes from like that ain't
judging. You saying like it's like a judge.
Nah, do that. That's not do that.
No,
that's the type of shit.
And like with education and manners and stuff like that, across the board, they don't play that shit. You're not gonna walk in nobody's house and not say nothing. There's even certain, like, this is so funny because I was saying to my boyfriend the other day, like, I was in the bathroom, I was on my cycle, and you know, when you on your cycle, sometimes you got those little spills or whatever, and I decided, like, you know, as a Jamaican, you're supposed to wash your panties anytime you step in the shower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that.
So glad for this subject.
No, anytime. But I got in the shower and I threw my panties in the shower too. He was like, fuck are you doing?
I ain't gonna lie, I've done that where I just threw the panties in the shower, and then when I get in there,
I start washing it,
and then I hang it up to dry.
But
go ahead, say what you guys saying.
No, finish.
No. So I did that, and he was like, why are you doing that? I said, honestly, like, you have no idea. Like, my family would probably consider me nasty that I don't wash my panties every single time that I get in the shower. Yeah. I said the only reason why I don't do that is out of respect for you, because I don't want to hang my panties on the top of the shower line. Like,
so glad you're saying that.
That's why I don't wash my panties in the shower, because, okay, cool, like, who wants at a certain level of lady that you should still remain to have, no matter how much you are comfortable, be a lady.
I think it could be but go ahead.
Okay, So this was a very big deal in my relationship. I was always taught as a little girl, not even from my Caribbean side, it was just from my mom. That's how I come from a family of like 90% women, 10% men, and it's always when you get in the shower. You wash your underwears out, you hang it up, and you put it in the dirty clothes afterwards.
Yes.
So nobody's telling you going to wear that shit again. They tell you to clean it.
Who's taking their underwears off and just putting it in the hamper? I think that is so disgusting. But to each his own. But it's one of my pet peeves. So my son's father was very upset that I have it hanging in the bathroom. This is my house. This is our sanctuary. If you got company coming over, I'll move it. You know what I'm saying? But nobody should be in our bathroom anyway looking around. Do your business and leave out. But I'm very big on that.
But I think what there is should be maybe a medium. So because you know that that's not their culture, you should act faster to get that panty down, because their panty only take a day to dry. So if you wash your panties say at night, by the time you come home from work the next day, those same panties from Tuesday should be going on Wednesday. It should be dry.
No,
Panties
definitely,
do not take long to dry.
Definitely.
They don't.
He didn't want them out there,
Nothing
period.
takes that long to dry.
Yeah, he just didn't understand it. He thought it was nasty.
Is he American?
Yes.
He doesn't understand.
He thought it was nasty. So I just was confused. One year
funny.
Man,
What's a coincidence that we have in the same interaction?
That's why I was when you said that, I'm like, what? And then the hanging up part, when I say it always caused an argument, always an argument. If you know you got company over and that morning I left out and I hung my underwears up.
There's nothing wrong with throwing it in the dirty clothes. Or putting it in the room.
Or I even cover it. Sometimes I even cover it like a little towel or something. Or whatnot, my washcloth over it a little bit and things like that. But it's important. I do it to this day. I did it today.
I mean, and I don't blame you. I've made that acclamation because I'm I don't want to forget my panties hanging up.
Because sometimes you forget you don't wash it. It's balled up to the side somewhere.
And I'm not the type I will. And that's another thing. I will wash it and I will put it in the laundry bin. I wouldn't even allow it to dry because all these clothes are getting washed.
I put it on the steam.
No, I need it to dry because it'll make your laundry bag smell mildew.
Yeah, but I don't have a laundry. I live with I have a washing machine, so it's just I just I consistently wash my clothes, so it's but
you don't have a wash day. You just
I wash whenever I need, but that's the thing, there's certain kind of things I do not need in my underwears as they're being washed, because I'm not the only person doing the laundry. Who wants their girlfriend to have, I'm sorry, lack of better words, period blood all in the fucking panties?
Exactly.
Because sometimes it's a surprise.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. Or maybe your wing moved to the side. The little shift during the day. You can't,
and that's something that I don't think that men really understand. It's we have if I had my boyfriend ask me the other day so what is discharge? Discharge is anything. He's like, your pussy's always wet. And that's not always the same type of wet.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yes.
No, that is true.
It's not the same type of wet. And then anything can make your pussy be something completely different.
Yeah, that's true. I don't mind educating a man on what it is. Because you feel me? I'm not gonna lie, usually I haven't had many boyfriends, but the boyfriends that I have had, they grew up with women.
A lot of women.
So those conversations, or me being them being weird about period or period blood or discharge, it's that's nothing to them. They done seen it all. And literally. Even when you younger, it's okay, you might have a day where shit not right. So they done seen females on their worst and best days. So there's nothing to really and
I'm not gonna lie, I'll never take that from him because he's very mature in that aspect.
No.
Very mature. If I tell him something's going wrong, it's not right, if something's off,
it's not ill.
I
don't need an ill ass nigga.
I don't need an ill ass nigga. He'd be
go get you a man, because men, there's nothing coming out of there. You feel me?
He just was
and don't.
Okay.
And that's that.
If I tell him something going wrong with it, he'd be like, okay. Yeah. It's nothing. And I love, I've been in situations where people have made me feel kind of weird because of something going wrong or whatever.
You ever bled on somebody's bed?
On my own.
Not on somebody else's.
Or, not having the pamper one on.
The pamper. The pee-pee pad be the best, yo.
Sleep well at night.
But I do think, but I'm not going to lie. Do you feel like Caribbeans frown upon Americans?
Yes.
Cause sometimes I'd be like, I don't understand it because it's like real shit. Let's be honest. I can explain it to you, but let's be honest. If we didn't go through what we went through, y'all wouldn't even be able to come the fuck over here. You know what I'm saying? True. So to me, it just be like, oh, like, you know, I understand there's a different type of thing. Cause I think in Caribbean countries, it's like y'all have a focus. Mm-hmm. Y'all focus is school and certain shit. In America, like. You focusing on school, but like you gotta survive. Like, you feel me? Like, you trying to survive. And I understand you trying to survive in other countries, but your main focus, nobody cares about the other things. Like, a kid could come to school with not the best clothes, and that's not a problem in Jamaica or something or in another country. That they don't care about that because their main focus at school is to fucking learn.
Education, and usually,
you know what I'm saying? But
uniform too.
we have too many extras that come on where people are focused on. Like, if I see a kid that doesn't maybe have the best clothes on, you know what I'm saying? There may be somebody who's getting beat at home, but they got the best clothes. So now they bullying the person who don't got the best clothes, but maybe their parents just don't got it. Like,
Americans focus more on appearance.
But
thank you. That's what it is.
The thing about it is the reason why it's like that. I'm going to explain. It's because the struggle is different. Mm-hmm. The thing in Jamaica, if you don't have no sugar, you can go to your neighbor and ask them for sugar. You cannot do that here.
That's a fact.
See, survival is different in other countries. Survival here is necessary.
Dog eat dog.
Dog eat dog. So you have to make sure you have sugar because you cannot go to your neighbor. You can, depending on where you at. Mm-hmm. But in certain areas, you cannot go to your fucking neighbor.
But you can't be asking for sugar every day. Like, look, this bitch never got no damn sugar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you see, in Jamaica, you know what they would do? They would give you enough sugar to last the week. Mm-hmm. They do. There's certain things like in the store you can buy small. Like, I was laughing at the shit. Like, there was a meme that had like 4 different things. You're not a schoolgirl if you don't have this. And they had the gel in
Ziploc bag.
It's smaller than a Ziploc bag.
Like the sandwich bag?
Yes. And niggas like, if you don't know what this is, you never went to school. And I laugh because that is never happening in America. You do not get those things in little increments like that. Only now you can probably now start getting little things in increments like that. But before you could not. You had to buy the whole thing.
That's a fact.
So that's the reason why I think, and then I think also another reason why Caribbeans look down, even other countries, it's not Caribbeans, Africans do it. Everybody does it because they think that we are lazy, and we have the tendency to be very lazy and be very entitled to things. Like, they don't have like food stamps in other countries. It's shit like that makes Caribbeans and people from other countries get mad, because even sometimes I get mad, like, bitch, I'm struggling and you gonna give me $13 in food stamps, and this bitch never had a job in her life.
It's not balanced out at all. But
it's not balanced, and it makes us frustrated because it's just like you taking advantage of the system when the system could be helping people that really need it.
Yeah.
But the system is not set up to help people get to a certain place. This is like jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the problem.
It's a revolving door.
That's why people get mad.
I feel like one of us is a fucking CO because we talk about jail every fucking episode.
Bitch, I might as well. I might as well be an inmate at this point. Like,
yo, I just feel like, for example, like, you know, when you go to jail, they're not trying to make you better as far as like probation. They want your ass to fuck back because they getting $500 a fucking bed in there. Like, they want your ass back. Like,
they taking the money from the checks.
But that's just like with welfare and food stamps. It's not an assistance program. It's a crippling and crutch-like program.
Yes,
like,
it is.
You know what I'm saying?
And because the minute that you get that's the crazy part. It wasn't supposed to be that way. But when they see us progress, they find other ways to distract us, to say, you know what? If you don't work this amount of hours, you can still get coverage for food stamps and Medicaid and things like that. So it trains people to say, you know what, I'm gonna work 23 hours so I can still get my food stamps, so I can still get this. So that's the way I see it is the frowning upon is because when some Caribbeans, before they come here, they already have like an instillment in them on independence. And then especially when they come into another country, you don't want to embarrass your families back home or whatnot.
Yes,
representation.
Embarrassment, like, you know, embarrassment is a huge thing, and that's and that's why I feel like my mom's side family is like, yo, don't bring that embarrassing shit back to house.
Also, owning property too is a thing.
Huge
But
thing.
Let's think about this. In other countries, you own property. Ain't no renting out little spots in here and there.
Like, but the thing is that, like, to actually make that property livable and perfect and the way
But
you want to be.
that's not the point. The point is that you have that instilled in you. I need my own place to live that I own, that I can call
That's
my
true.
own, and that I can give to my family.
That's true.
It may you feel me. You may not have the best tiling. You may not have the most updated kitchen, but it's
own
yours.
Yeah.
It's true. And
You
they will make a
know?
little hole in the wall, a fucking house.
In
Can we go back
Flatbush,
to-
a lot of Caribbeans be owning houses,
They're brownstones
owning property,
and everything.
yeah.
Can we go back to the Black Americans too, with the other foreigners feeling like where they're better than? I always felt that Black Americans was put at the bottom of the barrel, no matter what. Even
It's true.
I always felt that way because when we go back to the food stamp thing, everybody has it. Every culture, every race has been on food stamps and are to this day.
And the largest amount of people on food stamps is
Not even black people.
Exactly. So you got the
But they put that out
Russians
there.
out in
They
Coney
do.
Island. They be having their little minks on and things like that, sitting in the welfare office. You have the Russian ladies that their husbands be owning, not Russians, the Jewish ladies, their husbands be owning businesses, and they be in there with they they kids or whatnot and everything. But when it's a Black American, it's like
They make it so
they ostracize
hard.
it so bad. Anything that we do is like really, really bad, no matter what.
What
It's bad. Like they're on welfare. They having 1 million kids. Everyone's having 1 million kids.
That's a
Spanish people
fact.
have 1 million kids. Jewish people have a lot of children.
The only
because-
people that's not having kids is white people, like white Americans. Literally, they're the only people that's not having kids. Like for real, like.
But that's one thing I always felt growing up, and just being conscious. You just notice that when we do something, it's always look bad. It's,
Like a
it's like
microscope.
it's like we make like we're putting a stain on this now. Like we put a
Yeah.
stain on it or something like that, and it's not fair. It's not. I find it to be
It's really not
very-
fair. Like, but being from New York, I do say like I don't feel like I'm Black when I walk in. Like I can't explain it. Okay, I don't feel like when I walk in a room, the first thing you see is that I'm Black. Cause I feel like when I walk in a room,
I do.
bitch, I'm me. But that's something that I've never felt like. I never hated my skin color. I never hated. I never even felt like anything that had to do with race. Like, bitch, that's not even my problem. Like, that's y'all problem. Like,
we
it's not
talked about
mine.
this. We talked about the colorism that goes on in the Black community, and I feel like the self-esteem levels is always different. The darker you are, the more struggling your self-esteem is, to be honest. Because, like you said, that was never an issue. Growing up from elementary school to maybe middle school, I was fine. I never really had that issue, right? But when I got to high school, it became a very big deal. When I moved to Virginia, it became the biggest deal ever.
Yeah, you moved south.
Yeah,
You moved south.
and it hurt. It really, really hurt.
You moved south.
That's what you said. When you say you walked in a room and you don't feel Black, I feel Black. And if it's a room full of regular, like all Black people, no. But if I'm coming in, it's a mixture and it's diverse, I'm not gonna lie. I feel naked in my skin. I feel like, oh God, okay. I have to make sure I look decent. I'm represented.
That's only now, though, 'cause I moved to
my skin look
Baltimore.
good and things like that. But as a dark skinned woman, I do feel like growing up has been a struggle. It has been a struggle. I have heard the worst things you can ever say to a female, period, or a person in general. And I've heard some sweet things. I've grown up and have friends that be like, "Oh, you're all right for a dark skinned girl," and that's just like, wow,
I
like
hate
you know?
that.
I hate
Like,
that.
I
That's right.
hate it.
Yeah,
Like, what the
yeah.
fuck? What is all right for a dark skinned girl? What does
and-
that mean?
But that's what that's and that's our friends. It's our friends. Like when we was at work, we were talking about how like I had this big thing towards like the light skin and the Spanish and the white, because I just feel like they're not my enemy, but I know that if I'm in a room with you, I gotta go harder because I'm dark. I can have all the credentials, the qualifications, but I may not get this job, or I may not get selected for this video or article or something because I'm the darker skin, and they feel like the lighter you are, it's considered prettier, purer. The lighter you get, the purer you are.
Yeah.
That's
You
that
know?
pure
And
syndrome.
then also they want to slap the word aggressive on you and shit like
Yes,
that.
I've always seen
Like, I
aggressive.
really hate that. Like,
I
you know,
hate it.
And it makes you hard. This is not something that we try to be. I can't speak for all dark skins. I can only speak for myself. But like, I've always been taught I'm aggressive. I'm always on the defense because of the things that I've been through, experiences that I had. So my guard is always up because it's going to always be somebody to say something slick. It's going to always be somebody that's going to be, in the back of their mind just thinking something negative. So I always think the worst first when it comes to complexion and race and things like that.
I don't think the worst, but I feel her because when I started actually working in the field in Baltimore, I felt it like, damn. Like I had a manager tell me like, oh, she went like this, like, stop the chit chat. Who are you talking to, bitch? And I told her, I said, I had to break it down to her. Like, that is not something in our culture that you can do. That's rude. You talking with your hands, you being rude, and you think that's cute, and it's not. And I had to tell her, like,
you coming for me.
And she said, I would have never thought that was a problem. And I said to you, I said, let me give you an example. I said, in New York, if you're walking down the street and you bump somebody, nobody gives a fuck. But if in Baltimore, I know how to change that, because if I bump somebody, there's a lot of space on the street. There's no reason for me to bump you.
Yeah.
If I bump you,
it's space and opportunity, baby.
exactly. I said you have to be acclimated to the people that you know. I said, if I can change my behavior and move to Baltimore, I lived in New York all my life, you can do the same, because you're a manager and you work with other people that are not also white. You work with black people.
Because I feel
talking
like
to adults. You're not talking to no child.
And
because
that's
even
what
with
it
me,
is.
I have to,
I feel like that. Like,
I'm somebody who loves to talk about racial issues, love to talk about being black, embracing my blackness, and I feel like in the workplace, I'm like, you know,
kind of
we having conversations, and I can't have certain conversations
with you.
because you're either not gonna understand or feel, you know, white people easily offended when it comes to some race shit. Like, y'all didn't make this shit
uncomfortable. It's like an elephant in the
like,
room with
you
them.
know,
and even people who are not only white people, but even people who are
Black.
not black. Yes, black
people
and don't want to accept certain things.
because like with Juneteenth, I always took Juneteenth off, always, and nobody ever asked me about Juneteenth or nothing. Soon as the pandemic hit or whatever, and I had took the Juneteenth off, which I always fucking take off, which I never realized clearly before. Now it's, what do you do on this day? Did I educate your motherfucking self?
At this point,
yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the time, energy.
If I can educate myself about your culture and know about, you know, whatever it is to know about, from the Holocaust, to the Puerto Rico, to all that, you can educate yourself too. On
because there was a lot of things that went on in many different cultures, but also too,
I feel like they run away from it though. They try to.
Of course.
Everybody, when we're speaking on race, it's just an uncomfortable
to
thing.
us, because there's people that will get fired. Look what happened to Nick Cannon. He was almost done. Yeah. They called him what do they call
anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, they said he said something anti-Semitic.
He didn't.
And I hate the fact that
he didn't wallet.
I hate the fact that this shit happened to us here on this land.
Whoopi Goldberg just got hit with that too a few months ago as well when she
we spoke about that. We spoke about
everything.
Yeah, so the fact that like this shit happened to us here, this shit is still going. The aftershock of it all is still happening to us now.
We're living in modern day.
Yeah, and then the fact, and then it feels like the time is rolling back.
Yep.
And the fact that we can't speak on our issues, but like, you know, Jewish people have gotten reparations for something that didn't even fucking happen here. It's crazy.
Even Native Americans.
Insane. Yep. You feel me? Even Native Americans should get more. This was their land first. We wouldn't even know what this shit looked like if white people ain't bring us here.
Hello.
You feel me? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so sad that everybody gets to feel some type of way. They get to be hurt. They get to, you know, try to move past, and we just can't.
It's like shut up. It's like shut up and work. Like you know, how they tell basketball players shut up and dribble. It's like they're telling us shut up and work, shut up and get up and be like. It's like that's how I feel like when we start talking about it. Oh man, you didn't go through slavery, but they didn't go through the Holocaust either. There's Jewish people right now. Their kids
don't even know what it feel like.
Exactly. So why is it that you understand them, but you can't understand us? Oh, at the end of the day, and we're the ones really, if you want to be technical, technical, where are our reparations? Literally speaking. Oh, who do we give it to? How did you decide to give it to the Jewish people? How did you decide to give it to the Native Americans?
How did you decide to give it to Asians? Asians said just
oh my God. Let's not get into that.
I'm not going to. You see, this is why I don't like talking about race. Look, I get very upset.
I get very passionate. I feel like, you know, white people only started calling us lazy when we stopped working for free.
Hello?
Ooh.
You feel me? Like, that shit is crazy to me. Like, why are we lazy now? When we was fucking giving milk to your child that we didn't fucking give birth to, we wasn't lazy then. When you was
your land,
we wasn't wrong when you was smart, you was loyal, you was fine, or whatever the fuck the words was.
Yeah.
But we wasn't, and that's the point that gets me kind of mad, because even with my job now, I don't give a fuck. If I don't feel good today, bitch, I'm not coming.
Yeah. You bugging. Cause
jobs and that.
No, because I feel like they don't. I feel it, and I don't even think this is necessarily a black thing.
No, this is an everybody.
It's an everybody thing. But I do feel like when you stand up for yourself in the workplace, like Eb was saying, when you stand up for yourself in the workplace, they feel like you aggressive. No, bitch, you tried me and I tried you back. Why are you mad about this?
And the microaggression is just like ridiculous and disgusting. Like I hate it. It's like, okay, like when you was bucking on me in a low key way, and then when I buck back in a real fucking way,
let's match energy.
Let's match it. You feel me? Like
this is funny because I had a situation in one of my old jobs like that, and this lady, everybody in the room was popping shit about her. Everybody in the room popped shit about her. Majority white people. There's probably 2 people on this team that was black, and I was mad at that other black girl too. But anyway,
because all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Hello, again. I'm not gonna do the colorist thing. She's the lightest skin girl, but no, she.
I know that feeling. I know what you mean.
So we in the room and she did something. Everybody's popping shit like, why would she do that? Da, 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 da. So she came for me first, and she decided that she was like, oh yeah, cause da 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 da. So I said I would let her finish her speech and everything. I didn't curse at her. I said, but you decided to do so and so. So I'm so confused on why you're giving this to me now. Don't she decided. She sent a email to the manager who is somebody who's very fond of me, and he's also Caucasian. He's very fond of me.
She wanted a friend, girl. Go ahead.
She did. She did that, and he asked a question, and they the whole team pulled me in the office like, so you were wrong for that. I said, how am I wrong for that again? I said, because y'all was definitely in there talking mad shit about her. And I said, and first of all, she was rude to me first. So I came back and I'm not going to apologize. You're not going to apologize? No. And they were so mad. It got me so mad. You already know I'm emotional and I would cry. So I started crying. I said, I'm not going to say anything to her. I said, because y'all know she was wrong and she came for me first and I'm not sorry and I don't give a fuck. After that, they was a little frustrated, but they told me not to cry. I'm not crying because I'm hurt. I'm crying because I'm mad.
I really want to smack this
I really want to smack
place.
everybody in this room. And I looked at the other black girl and I was like, how could you ever let somebody talk to me about this? And you was one of the main bitches in this room popping shit with everybody else.
Now you sitting there hiding it. When it comes to work, I've always worked with black people. I've always been blessed to like work with my people, and I've always worked for the men, the white men, or whatnot. So I don't really know the uncomfortability of like being with them on a day by day, like how I work with David, and all of us work side by side. I've never had that experience to really work with a Caucasian person, only working for them. So to me, it's always been, you're my supervisor, I work for you. So to me, the crossings, I never had the experience where they were out of line. I felt dismissed one time during the meeting or whatnot, but that was just me, my personal feelings. But I never felt like in the workplace that I had to like a white person got crazy with me.
But
they were just my superior, so it was just.
But the thing about it is that person that dismissed you, I know them, and I've experienced things, and they wouldn't dismiss certain white people. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like I've seen, and the person we talking about, they basically like, I've seen people get crazy with them. I'm talking about slamming doors in their face and everything. So the nerve of you to dismiss any fucking body.
Stop trying to pick and choose who you gonna be nasty
matter of fact,
and then we're all women. We're women. What are we doing? We're women.
I had a situation where like I remember like I was doing something. She kept directing me to do something, and I kept doing it wrong. And then I walked out of the office, one of the offices inside of one of the rooms inside of the office or whatever, and I walked out and I had some papers in my hand or whatever, and she snatched it. She was like, oh, this doesn't go here.
Who you doing that to?
And I said, don't you ever in your life snatch anything from me. So it went from, she was giving me the bitch
you be cutting her.
She was giving me the bitch like, don't fucking play with me. So I gave her the bitch don't fucking play with me back. And it was like white tears. I don't like it.
You
feel me? Like I hate, and she didn't cry. She didn't cry, but it's the white fragileness that you get when somebody black bucks up on you is crazy to me. Like, nah, don't buck up on, don't get crazy now. Like,
I see it in videos all the time. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
But I see it in videos all the time when white people is getting crazy, and then when you like, I'm gonna get you fired. Oh my god! No, bitch. No,
Like, I've seen that many
don't
times.
quiver the lip now because you didn't give a fuck before I mentioned your job.
That's a fact.
And-
But white tears matter in America.
It
though.
really does.
Black tears
It
are
does.
invisible,
It really, really
and it's
does.
just
you
sad.
could be screaming for your son that they just killed, and they will look at you.
You
like
saw how
you
that
a
judge
criminal.
lady, the black judge lady, hugged that white cop lady that killed the black young man. She was crying, and you want to give her a
What, you
hug.
talking about-
And then she
What's her name?
appeals to Amber something. I
Yes,
forgot what her
I
name
forgot
is.
her name. Amber.
What's
No, not her. We took all right. So remember, it was this white. It was this white
Amber.
cop.
Amber. Yes,
I know.
She
She
was this
hugged
white.
her.
She hugged her.
No, it was this white cop. Remember, she went into the house and she killed that black.
Yeah,
man. She said she
I
went to
remember.
the
I
room.
remember
Yeah, yeah.
Amber. Whatever. I can't. Something
The
with
judge
S.
walked from behind the bench
And hugged her.
to hug her.
Gave her a Bible or something too, like that. Did
Yeah,
something with something.
like she ain't just kill a innocent black person. Yeah, I was like,
The
what fuck?
only time I ever felt
doesn't
sympathetic for somebody killing someone else was this nurse, and she gave this lady the wrong dosage of medication, and the patient died.
That's why I'm not in the medical field.
And I felt really,
Yeah, I be
really.
making- I be fucking
that
up.
I'm
I
not gonna lie.
got
That
I feel like I
really
have the hospitality,
touched me
but
because I was like, she was crying. I'm like, yo, she did not do that.
You could be like a hospital director. You don't gotta poke nobody up.
I can't. It's over. That would be me.
Another question. Do you think piercing, lashes, and makeup is too much for a 12-year-old, or is it expressive?
Listen,
Because I be seeing, I ain't gonna hold you.
Piercings, depending where. You said lashes.
the only piercing
Too much.
is your ears.
No.
No,
I'm gonna be real.
Maybe like up your ears. Maybe your
At what
ears.
age? Like, so
your
alright,
ears. That's the only
Ears.
piercing. You're not getting no belly, no tongue, no nose ring. You gonna get them 2 ears pierced, and that is all we're doing.
I'm not gonna lie. I snuck my mother.
I have a 12-year-old son. We ain't doing that.
But look, I ain't gonna lie. At 16, I went and got my nose pierced.
That's different.
Okay,
little adult.
Okay, I had got my
16 is like prime years to get piercings and tattoos.
Okay, yeah. So I got them. I think piercings aren't bad because let's think about it. Your parents at 2, you get ear piercings. What you doing with earrings at 2? What the fuck are you doing? Because you can't even clean your ears.
That's so true.
You can't even clean your fucking ears.
At this point, it's for the parents. It's for little girls. Because my son's 12 and he doesn't have his ears pierced. And I always seen little boys younger than him with their ears pierced. And I'm asking him lately,
It's
"You want your
aesthetics,
ears pierced?"
yeah,
And he
yeah.
was like, now he's saying yes. But before, like on my Caribbean side, my
Yeah.
dad like, don't do braids, don't do this, don't do no
Yeah.
earrings. So my dad will never go for it. But on my American side, they like, yeah, that's the normal thing.
That's normal.
But
Earrings, wouldn't care.
I find girls are now wearing lace front wigs. I barely
much.
know how
It's
to.
too much.
I do feel like that. I didn't start really wearing. I think I had a
Weave?
weave in.
What was your first weave?
I was 16. I was in high school.
What made you get it though?
I seen this lady on my block and her bob was nice and I wanted it. Like I wanted her bob.
And what?
And then in my natural hair, I was tired of wearing I was always wearing like braids. I would go, "Oh, Brandy, you always got braids." And I was tired of wearing braids. So I felt like I wanted to be looking older. And that's what made me want to do it as well. My dad hated it. My mom and them didn't care.
I had my first weave. I think I was actually in high school in junior.
Braids don't count as weave.
No, braids don't count. I had braids for a long time, but I think the first time I ever got a weave, my mom actually helped me sew it in.
Oh.
Because I had a ball patch in the back.
Okay.
I got the perm, and listen, my hair ain't never been that great.
Yes, that's the same thing with me. That's why I wore.
But then again, it's like that's another thing with hair with black
before
women.
we get into that. But anyway, I got the braid, I got the weave, and she it was a very natural looking weave. Like it wasn't nothing that looked crazy. But think 12, but my mom was serious about like nail. But that was the one time that was the first, and I think I had braids so long. I was wearing braids like back to back to back to back to
What
back.
about tips?
my whole life.
I didn't get tips until my mom would not let me get
How
tips.
old were you?
13. She would not.
What
let
about
me.
you?
Ooh, I think I want to say around 13.
She told me
I
I
was
could
working.
not-
I was
That's kinda
working.
young.
She told me I could not get tips until I was
Because
13.
like I'm gonna be real.
They had Mickey Mouse. Someone had the airbrush when they had the
Yeah,
airbrush.
they definitely had the
We're
airbrush.
not talking about no crippling long nails. Like
No, we're not talking about that, but still, like, I feel like you need to reach an age where you're comfortable with you. And like we don't give kids enough of that time to be comfortable.
kids.
They barely are comfortable with whatever the fuck they got already. You feel me? So then to be throwing some fake shit on you at a young ass age,
She
is
never-
crazy.
and that's-
because I know somebody who had, who always had nails or whatever, and the cuticles was like it needed a break.
It was bad.
You need a break. You know what I'm
You
saying?
need a break.
Like now. I'm at the
They never paid for
at
it.
the age of 18 and 20, you have discernment. Like, oh hell no, my shit's a little fucked up. Let me chill. Let me give it 2 weeks. We didn't said that before. Like you don't have that discernment. You don't have that discernment where like, oh, you wearing a wig and like, damn, your edges is going away. You're not thinking
I know
that.
what you mean.
You
Yeah,
thinking like you are barely able to take care of yourself, wipe your pussy right. You know, if you're uncircumcised with a boy, you know how to really wash your peen right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
I 100%.
So to add on additives on top of you barely knowing how to take care of certain
I'm not
shit
gonna lie.
crazy.
I do feel like these 13-year-olds.
Manicures is cool
because it's different. It's different now because I always felt like going back in the day when I was growing up, 37. So back in the day, growing up, the 13 was different and everything to me. Now it's a little bit too fast, course or whatnot.
Media.
But back in the day, I felt like when I got my nails done, I don't think it was a big deal. I worked in the supermarket.
You weren't the norm though.
I actually had too much free range. Like now looking back at it, I always say to myself, I had too
we're
much
probably
free
on the
range.
same spectrum.
But
like
you take advantage. But I don't feel like you took advantage of your free range.
I didn't need to take advantage of my free range because I wasn't interested in niggas. Like you see, I feel like people take advantage.
I like me a nigga.
I was a hot
No,
one.
I'm just saying.
But I wasn't like fucking, but I just like to talk to niggas. I like to converse.
I was a hot one. You couldn't tell me no, son.
But the difference is that when I was younger, I was more of a tomboy. Like I like to hang out, just have fun. Like my interest was not, I want to be around niggas and we go.
No, if I go out and I see a nigga.
Not at 13. Yeah. But I was more into
13. I wasn't really. 13 is what? 13 is 8th grade.
Oh yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once I got into high school, I had a boyfriend for a very long time and I was very wrapped up under that nigga and I can't believe it now. But once I graduated, like we weren't together anymore and I discovered niggas, like.
You know, 13, it was more like for me just being fly.
I was a kid.
Okay. That's what it was.
Acted as a kid.
It was
my
more
outfits
so
were more
fly.
important than getting my nails done and shit
like that.
The only thing I cared about was my toes done in the summertime maybe. Yeah. But that's about it.
Yeah, I'm building my reputation at 13. That is looking fly and you know what I'm saying, going to little team parties and things like that.
Facts.
I feel like now they're just more violent. They're more sexualized. It was more innocence
more
back
people
then.
pleasing. Yeah. That's what it is. Social media has trained people to just please other people, not yourself,
and be sensitive. You can't even be who you need to be. Like you
that's
know,
why I feel like I have this hard shell. Like I could cry, but I ain't crying. Like that's how I always
I'm
feel.
not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest. Growing up, I used to feel like, and like even to this day, people would be like, "Oh, I ain't never see you cry." This, that, and the third. But like, I just used to feel like crying was fucking weak.
Yeah, I cry.
That's a stigma, though.
I cry.
Crying
alone.
is weak, and honestly, crying is not weak.
It's not. It's
good for the soul.
It is
good for the soul. It is so good for the soul.
That's why my friends will always say to me, like, "You a cryy bitch." Yeah, but guess what? I don't be having pent up energy either. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. Most of my friends,
ass bitch. I will cry anytime.
Most of my friends, they love to cry. That's the crazy part. It's like, you know, somebody who grew up not wanting to cry. It's like, okay, like, you know, I've met so many people that just willing to cry on a drop of a dime. But
I'll cry by myself.
I don't find nothing wrong. Yeah, I will cry by myself before I cry in front of others.
Cry alone.
I've seen maybe you cry like 3 or 4 times.
And most of those times I was fucking drunk. Like,
yes,
you can't
hold it back now.
Like, you can't.
Yes.
No,
you can't.
I seen you cry. I think sober one time.
Yes,
like one time. You was really mad though. Like you were.
Yeah,
really
so
mad.
I can't.
I gotta have reasons to cry too. Like if somebody passed away in my family and I was close to them passing away, a relationship, you know, little thing, mishap going on, maybe something good, celebratory. I really don't feel like I have moments to cry like all the time.
We should normalize crying. But how you feel about your son? Does he cry?
Yes.
Okay.
He's an Aquarius, so he's emotional, but he definitely does cry. He definitely does cry.
Do you nurture him when he cries?
Yes, because I feel bad. Like, and even when I yell at him, I like a couple of seconds later, I'm like, "Come here." Like, so yes, I'm very nurturing.
And that's great. And
that is good.
That's great because I feel like in the Black community we have not been able to nurture our men because
no, sometimes we nurture them too fucking much.
But
that's why we got the futures of the world.
We nurture them, but we don't acknowledge their feelings.
That's a fact.
We have to. You see, nurturing is great, but if you're not fixing the issue that is causing them to be like that, it doesn't fix the issue. It just it's like putting something over it.
A Band-Aid over
a Band-Aid over a cut.
Never gonna
a Band-Aid over a wound.
Yeah.
No, I was talking with my son. I like I was like, I like the way he's growing up because of I hear his conversations with his friends, and it was a young little girl he was on the phone with recently. He was like, she was considering herself ugly, and he was like, stop saying you ugly, you're not ugly, let me see your face. Like, he kept encouraging her. And for him to be 12, especially in this day and age now, because I hear the conversations they be saying some wild things. These kids be saying some wild things.
Nasty things.
And
I
it
was
felt
saying wild
good.
shit too now that I think about it.
Yeah, and
it sounds crazy because you're an adult, but I was saying wild shit when I was
You know what?
younger.
As I think back, I'm sorry, continue. We'll talk about
Yeah, no, like just looking at him saying that, it make me feel like, okay, I'm doing something right, because these boys out here call a little girl ugly real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when I was young, they used to they love that word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, you know. And I feel like it was just like
it was more so a high school I dealt with, like the first time I ever felt ugly or felt distant. Like,
why do you feel like it was high school though?
Because